The next problem is the large and complex problem. As you probably remember, with monolith, the codebase naturally is large and complex. Since all the software components are part of a single process, we naturally have a very large codebase containing a lot of dependencies and coupling. Now, what this means is that every little change can affect other components. So naturally, we will have to do a lot of testing to make sure the system functions correctly. But even with that, some bugs might still slip between the cracks and will not be detected during testing. This makes the whole system very difficult to maintain. When every little change requires such a long process of verification, then every little change becomes a nightmare. And in addition, since the developers will try their best to avoid updating the system, it can make the system obsolete quite quickly. So how do microservices help us in this situation? So here also, the attribute that comes to our help is the componentization via services. When modeling our code as services implemented as an out-of-process code, we get a well-defined pieces of code. Now, each one of these services has what is called bounded code, meaning the code has well-defined boundaries. It actually has no choice. It simply cannot be mixed with code of other services since these services run in separate processes and it simply can't access them. So separating the system to services has the side effect of a well-bounded code that is easier to maintain and by definition is blocked from other services code. But that's not all. By utilizing the decentralized data management attribute, we achieve another level of isolation between the services. When each service has its own database, we further reduce the chance of mixing services functionality. If there was a single huge database used by all the services, then we still had a problem of mixed content in the database serving multiple services, and the large and complex problem would shift to the database instead of the code, but it was still there. By using separate database for each service, we eliminate this level too, and both the code and the databases are small and simple and much easier to maintain. Another attribute that might be involved here is the organized around business capabilities. Remember that what this attribute means is that for each service, there is a single team responsible for all the aspects of it. The UI, the API, the business logic, the data access, database, testing, etc. What this means is that we do not have a slow, cumbersome intergroup communication when developing the service, and that increases the chance of the service being simple and straightforward to develop and maintain. And this is how microservices solve the large and complex problem.